Alright, so it looks like we needed to go to the next code, check preferences, go to locations, and just make sure any version of your command line tools are checked. And you should be able to quit Xcode. Just quit our terminal too. Open it from scratch. ls cd test project. When you type tab in terminal, it's going to autocomplete. So if we type pra, it should finish out project. Was good. Native run. Spell it right. Alright, so now we have a project building. You should see our terminal open up shortly. See, our terminal starts, or our simulator starts to open. Our terminal is doing a bunch of fancy stuff in the background. It's essentially building the project. And in a little bit here, we should see our application open on the terminal. Right. Whenever you run your project, you're going to see this thing called a packager. Kind of distinguish it by the name here. You'll see Metro Bundler. Essentially what that's doing is loading all of the files in your project so that you can refresh quickly and see your code changes quickly, and just helps with development. So whenever you do the React Native run iOS command, you will see this other window open up, which is your bundler. And that's common to see. If you ever have any problems, you can close both of those windows and start the project from scratch by doing React Native run iOS. You just need to be inside of that folder. One other thing I did skip over, open a new window here. When I went to test project, not home, cd test. Alright, so inside of this folder, there's one thing you can do called npm install. Whenever you run this, it is going to install all of the packages needed for you to run this project. We don't have to worry too much about that right now, but you'll want to run npm install one time before running the project the first time. So before you do React Native run iOS, you'll want to run npm install, and we'll get a bit more into what that does at a later date when we actually need to install some third-party packages. That is one command that we do want to run. I believe I ran it when I was doing some Googling and we got stuck on this project not working, so just make sure you run npm install, hit enter, and then you'll want to run react native run iOS, hit enter, and then you'll be where I'm at. All right. Long build process. You can see the build completed. And here everything's loading. You can also see in the package reflecting the loading of the files. First time takes quite a bit of time. After you do it the first time, it's a bunch faster every other time. Alright, so now we're at 100%. So we can see we have an app running, right? It's in an iOS simulator, and it says, welcome to React Native, some other stuff. There's Command R to reload. Let's try that. Command R. Cool. Reloads very fast. Command D to shake for dev menu. Okay, so Command D gives us some options. Press Command D again, it goes away. So this is actually what we're seeing here. So in app.js, we have some, especially for web developers, the syntax may be similar. So we call JSX. It's actually, let's just stick with the definition of HTML-like code for now. So we have some HTML-like code, just like in HTML you'd have a div or different things like that. We have some other components, we'll call them view, right? We'll call them text. And these have these style components, right? So we saw welcome to React Native. Go back to the simulator, that's what's here. To get started, edit app.js. Cool, so that's what we're seeing here, right? So let's play around with this for a little bit. Let's create a new text component with no styles, right? Just going to create a blank one, saying hello. And we'll close that text component out, press save, and we're going to press Command R to reload the simulator. See how we get this hello here? Can't really select it, but you get the idea. So it's very similar to HTML and CSS. And the one other thing we're going to show you with in this tutorial is how do we add a style to that. So right, we have this hello text, right? Right. Hello style. Let's make the color of that font red. A lot of these things you can Google different things around CSS or other styling if you're confused how to style components or different things. It's pretty similar to the web. So it follows HTML, CSS, JavaScript conventions. And the main thing we're going to do is essentially we created a property, I guess you could call it, inside of this object, which is called styles. And just like every other portion of styles, so see this one called styles.instructions, right? And that refers to this area of styles. So we just made our new hello style called color, right? So inside of the style prop on this text, we're going to say styles.hello style. Let's see if we can change our text to red. We're going to press Command R to reload. Got red text. Alright, so it may seem super simple to start, but essentially what you have here is the basics to create a React Native app. There's some other things you're going to want to check out, like Flexbox, which you can just Google. And Facebook has a really good layout and description about how that works. Layout with Flexbox is one of the main things you're going to want to check out. There's a few other things, but go ahead and read that. Google some things on CSS and styling. and play a little bit around with some different text that you can add here. Make a few styles yourself, and let's go from there. Try to break things, try to get to a point where it doesn't work. As you saw in this tutorial, we kind of got stuck at a certain point, and we did some Googling, checked the Facebook docs. We realized we needed to set Xcode so that it was referencing the command line tools. There's going to be things like that will happen commonly to you in programming. So try to break things, try to get stuck, and then let me know your feedback in the comments, and we'll go from there. Let's just try to get something added to this project in some kind of style, and then press Command R when you get to the simulator. You can do it over and over and over, and reload that project until you see some change.